Skaro, free Skaro!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Radio Free Skaro, episode number 1051. I am Stephen in Calgary.
Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
I'm in Calgary today. I won't be when this episode comes out, but I'm here. This is hockey related, so bear with me. I'll just be really quick. I'm here to, for those that don't know, Edmonton has a hockey team. They're called the Oilers. Calgary has a hockey team. They're called the Flames. By nature, I hate the Flames. But I used to go to school here in Mount Royal College back in the 1990s, and I used to go to Flames games because they were cheap, and the Flames always won. But I decided to keep going even after I left college, and the Flames have always won. They have won all 13 times. I have seen them in person here in Calgary. But the rink that they're playing in closes in 2 years because they're building a new one. And I have determined that I need to see them lose at least once in their current building before it closes.
I'm against this hockey thing, but I am for this pettiness thing.
It is very petty. Can you imagine though 13? Can you imagine like showing up to a thing and having the exact opposite thing that you want to happen happened 13 times?
Yes, I can. It's called the 2020s.
So that's true. Well, imagine that, except spread out over like 30 years, which I'd
rather not.
I've done. No.
I'd just rather not. Thank you.
No, it's crazy. Good start last night, though. I watched the AHL teams face off, so it doesn't count as part of the official stats. But the Bakersfield Condors, who the Oilers farm team, beat the Calgary Wranglers, who are Calgary's farm team, 5-1 last night. I had never even seen a Calgary team lose in that building, so it's a good start. Here's hoping that by the time this episode comes out, the New York Islanders will have defeated the Flames in my presence.
One time you'll cheer for the Islanders.
That's true. Although I did cheer for them twice before in this rink, and this is the Islanders' third try on their own.
But even I am bitter about them beating Edmonton. I think in the 90s. I don't remember when it was.
80s, early
really
80s.
depressing.
1983.
Yeah, 83 final. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right, that's it. Unless you have any hockey talk, we bored the listeners.
No, if you want to go on about Bossy and Trottier, we can have a chat.
Please don't.
That's
I
true.
vaguely remember these names, but don't care.
Great Islanders of yore.
Good old Billy Smith, baby.
Battling Billy Smith. We're here to talk about Doctor Who today, though, believe it or not. For the 1000th and 51st time, our Miniscope for Nick Hurran concludes today with an entire segment devoted to the Day of the Doctor, which we have concluded after many years of debating about this that it's actually pretty good. It's actually good.
You may be surprised to learn.
It's very good. Yep, it's exceptionally good.
I'm not going to bring it up because I don't want to, but I bring up the list proper. But the other day I sent you guys a thing from, I think it was comicbook.com.
No, great. Sign quality.
A list of like the best or the best Doctor Who stories, whatever. And
top 11, I think it was too.
Yeah, something like that. And there was no Day of the Doctor. There was no Pyramids of Mars. There was no Heaven Sent. There was no
Genesis was number one, and I like Genesis, but come on now.
I think not get ahead of ourselves. Second was 73 yards. Dot and Bubble was on the list somewhere along the way.
Yeah, I know.
Recency.
Got you talking, though. See, if it just rattled off.
I suppose so.
Here we are blabbing about it.
Top 11. That's like, okay, another list that just says Day of the Doctor, Heaven Sent, Caves of Evangelization, blah, 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 whatever. Next.
Yeah, I suppose so. Blink was on there. Like some of the stuff that deserves to be on there certainly was, but some was missed out.
Yeah, Dominators being on there was a complete surprise. But
well, Dalek Invasion of Earth was the last one on the list of out of however many, and that
to be fair, it ain't bad.
You know
it
what?
Ain't bad, but is it top 11 ever? I don't know.
No, but it is a lot of fun. And it does have a great end bit with Hartnell's monologue.
War Games is on there, which again good, but I don't know if that's quite quite up there with, say, Blink or Heaven Sent.
I like that Chris said, I don't want to talk about this, but and then
no, I didn't. I didn't want to bring up the list. So
I see.
So I'm trying to go by memory.
Chris not going off a list is pretty impressive.
That's true. That is true, actually. Well done. Yeah. But Day of the Doctor's up there. That's for sure. I think we determined that, and the thing that we recorded like 6 months ago. Back when
September or something, I think.
Yeah, back when we assumed the world wouldn't be as bad as it is right now.
Well, too bad.
Yeah, I know.
We're basically living without the monks, but with the monks, essentially.
Yeah,
it's that stupid. It's that disappointing an episode.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah. Good direction, though, by Wayne Yip.
True. Yeah.
Maybe if Wayne Yip could come back and direct the year 2026, maybe
That'd
we
be
can
great.
Get something good out of it. Or
in
something.
A snazzy outfit, which he's very good at.
Yeah. Speaking of America, Freema Agyeman's coming back to Gallifrey One, everyone. Freema Agyeman, of course, is there, 2013?
Yep, I have a picture because my buddy Len got a picture with her recently at some show.
No way.
And so I had to dig up mine, and I looked at the date. Oh, yeah, it was 2013. So, yeah, I actually have a picture of me and her standing there. I think you just interviewed her.
I've interviewed a good many people at Gallifrey One and other conventions, and me being me, I'm like, I don't want to get a picture because it just looks like I'm collecting hockey cards, you know.
I had no problem getting a picture. So.
I know, well, but one of my few ones is with Freema Agyeman because I actually think, well, maybe wow, Freema Agyeman, let's get a picture of this so we could say, look at this, we just talked to Freema Agyeman. And so, like, one of my very few actual posed photos with someone who I've interviewed is with Freema Agyeman, back in my slimmer days.
I think it might have been Erica's idea, actually, to get me to go in a picture. I wouldn't have thought of it either myself.
Yeah, that was the weekend we got married. Erica and I, not Freema and I.
That would have been problematic, yeah.
That would have been awkward, oddly, now that I think about it. It might have been. You were right there or something. I can't remember how it happened, but I think it was on a Sunday. Anyway,
and it doesn't matter to anybody but us. So.
No, but she was absolutely lovely. And then I went and interviewed her, I think she was at Chicago TARDIS later that year or in 2014. I can't remember now. But it went well on stage, and she was so kind enough to like track me down in like the hall amongst the normal humans at a convention, and say what a great time I had on that panel. And then they quickly hustled her back in before she was accosted. Yeah, exactly. But so she's wonderful. Yeah. So Sean Lyon. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Chris.
Sorry, the Chicago TARDIS website says 2013.
It was 2013. So later that year, much later that year, at the bookend of the year of 2013. I know that Sean Lyon has been very eager to get her back for one more Gallifrey One before it all wraps up in 2 years' time. 2028 is the last one, of course. So that is great. She'll be there Friday, Saturday for panels and script reading stuff and photo shoots and diamond passes and all that sort of thing. That when you get the full thing, that's so she'll be there. Anita Dobson will not, though. She's had to bow out because of.
That's too bad.
Of work agreements. Perhaps she's bi-generating into someone else.
Possibly.
For nonsensical
She's doing the Christmas
reasons.
special.
Could
which
be.
is nothing but endless bi-generations.
Could be.
Going with her husband to Ibiza to do Molly.
They're both very old. I doubt that.
I don't know. Brian May at Ibiza. I don't know. Does that happen a lot? Don't know. What else is happening to Gallifrey One? Gallifrey One, there's a couple of new guests as well. Charlie Condu from Interstellar Song Contest and other shows not named Doctor Who that he was sort of famous for. Was it Coronation Street?
They're not named Doctor Who.
I knew him from where I had seen him during his stint in Corey. Yeah.
Okay. And Paul Casey, that's cool. Paul Casey, of course, is the I don't know if he's basically the Rosalind de Winter of the modern series because he's like insect movement by because he no longer like slums it in the costumes themselves. He gets on a microphone and tells other people how to do it basically. So he's lived through the trenches and now he's commanding others how to be creatures. So that's kind of cool.
He's a costume showrunner, if you will.
A little bit, a creature showrunner. kind of a creature director. I don't know what his actual name is, but
Insect movement. Let's just stick with that.
that's true. Anyway, the convention schedule's coming up soon. Even though Chris and Warren, for very good reasons, are not venturing into the U.S. To go to Gallifrey One this year, we'll still be doing our Gallifrey One preview show. And let's face it, you'll go to as many panels this year as you often think you might go to during past Gallifrey One preview shows. So that is to say none, even though they look intriguing and exciting. So there. In other convention news, so Console Room is happening this coming weekend, January 23rd to 25th in Bloomington, Minnesota, former home of the late lamented Minnesota North Stars, I'll have you know, just to keep it hockey related. And they are still going ahead. There obviously with the awfulness and the business going on in Minneapolis right now, there was concerns perhaps if it might go on, but according to the website, it's been going on. We've been back and forth with one of the people on the board about whether or not it was going to happen or not, and it very much looks like it's going ahead. If you can, do support this wonderful little convention. It's they don't proclaim to be a massive or anything like that, but they do their absolute best, and they've been going for a few years now. It's always been around Gallifrey One, so we've never really been able to sort of get down there or anything like that. And
if you're going, stay safe and abolish ice.
There we go. Yeah, maybe possibly at the same time. Who knows? But Jill Martin's going to be there in person Saturday and Sunday, and also the VIP mixer. Brendy Padbury will be there, and Daphne Asbrook will all be there as well. So yeah, a lovely little convention that sometimes falls under our radar, but shouldn't, and run by very nice people. So if you're in the Midwest or in Minneapolis or in that area, stay safe and support this wonderful little convention who's persevering, as all good folks will do. That's happening next weekend, Bloomington, Minnesota. Is that near them? That is near the Mall of America, because I know the Mall of America is in Bloomington.
Well, the Mall of America is right by the airport, so.
Is that by Bloomington too?
My Minnesota geography is
minimal.
Poor.
Okay.
Same with me. The only thing I know about Mall of America is it came out and it beat West Edmonton Mall as the biggest mall in North America, and I was like, how dare they?
Well,
I don't particularly love West Edmonton Mall.
Then West End expanded.
Yeah.
Oh, a skillful feint, West Edmonton Mall.
I know, right? You let them have that little advantage, and then you just take, you give them the run in the top of the ninth. We're going all the sports metaphors today, and then that's all right. We got our big bats coming in the bottom of the ninth, and boom, boom, boom. And
okay, whatever. Vince Scully.
You win the game, Vince Scully.
There's a beach ball on there. What a boring game.
In other American Doctor Who news, the Worlds of Wonder exhibit, which was set to close in March of this year, the Doctor Who exhibit that's at Comic-Con Museum, is actually being extended to January 2027.
Yeah, it's quite a big extension.
That
10
is.
months.
I know. That's cool. I mean, I hope more people get to see it. Hopefully, it was extended because of popularity.
It's because there's a war between the land and sea fever, and they have to slake it somehow.
Listen. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say the new exhibit where you get to kiss Russell Tovey is going to be a big seller.
Yeah, but you keep telling Russell T Davies, "Could you please get out of the way? I'd like to kiss Russell Tovey now. Just give me a turn. Come on."
Speaking of which, by the way, not coming to Disney Plus, put out there. Here's what's coming to Disney Plus in February. War Between the Land and Sea, not on there, baby. So who knows?
Please, Disney, you could be heroes.
Just for one day.
Just for one day.
Which, let's face it, is how it's going to be released.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's just in one day. In March or later at this point. There was a slight hope that maybe they could have squeaked it out before Gallifrey One, given that a few of the guests were in War Between the Land and Sea.
You've got to email them and say, where's my middling sci-fi drama filler? I want it. Mm-hmm.
Spoilers for what we thought of it, by the way.
Exactly.
But, for those of you that skipped over the reviews, waiting patiently for Disney Plus to air it, well, you'll have to wait a little bit longer. There's no indication that there was any expanded element to the Worlds of Wonder. But I'll tell you what, I'll be going there on my birthday, February 3rd.
Happy birthday.
We'll be there. Thank you very much. We'll be driving down the 101, going to San Diego. Well, yeah, no, it is in San Diego. That's right. So, yeah.
Saturday will be in a nice detention cell, one or the other.
Great. Wonderful.
Could be.
For crimes against America. Yet to be determined.
Yeah, indeed. If we get
Thought crime, probably.
No.
Anyway,
Yeah.
going on.
Jodie Whittaker's wonderful. She did a video for Big Finish answering some of Big Finish listeners' questions in probably her natural hairstyle. Let's face it, I think she's a natural brunette. But
I think so. Yeah. If my action dolly is indicative, she definitely is.
The roots are coming.
She's got roots in. It's an action dolly. You can just make her blonde. What the hell?
I know, but they didn't. Well, you know what? I think actually in the show proper, I think she's got roots.
Well, and actually, I have the Power of the Doctor figure as well, and that one has a slightly browner but more even haircut. So.
Oh yeah. There's a bit of a spider on her head in her initial.
There's our dolly update.
Yeah, and she's lovely. I think she's just bubbly and fun and nice, and I like it when past doctors still have such enthusiasm for the show as Jodie does. You know, Jodie Whittaker sort of, wasn't, let's face it, a Whovian coming into this, and then they told her that Whovian was what everyone likes to be called, and of course they don't, which is what makes it funny. But
Brits don't.
But she's just like kept it up and just enthused by it all and the whole love of the show. So that's great. Anyway, it's a lovely, delightful little short video. Links in the show notes there. Because of course, the reason for it is because her newest Big Finish audio, Ride or Die, her and Mandip Gill, of course, playing Yaz, are in that. That's out now. With roots in her hair too and everything.
I assume that Yaz is the Doctor's Ride or Die.
One would think so.
Oh, I think so. If that is indeed what the title alludes to. We overanalyzed this artwork before when they announced it, but it does kind of look like it's a Menoptera on the cover, right? Like they're going back to Vortex.
Vaguely Egyptian-y looking, kind of, sort of.
Well, you can see wings though,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe it's a Menoptera, who knows?
Could be Menoptera.
Just says it's a banshee.
I'm going to go with Menoptera.
So it's a time monster creature. That's what it is.
Okay. Oh, that too, maybe. It was a time monster, a Menoptera.
Why not both? Exactly.
Okay.
Maybe it's a Menoptera offshoot, like a cousin of it, like the Minotaur in the God Complex was a cousin of the Naimon.
Oh, there it is. There we go.
It's a Blatheroptera.
We could back catalog anything into something. And has been tradition once they release a new Jodie Whittaker 13th Doctor audio, they announce plans for the next one, and the next one is next month. Not next month, 2 months from now, March 2026. The Violet Hour by Rafaela Marcus. Where the Doctor and Yaz are in that as well, and a woman with strange eyes is on the cover.
And some claws are coming right for Yaz. I think that's a claw anyway.
Is it a claw or is it like a tear in the fabric of space-time?
Nah, I think it's a claw. I'm saying it's a claw.
Okay, Chris, do you have any? It takes place in the East End of London in 1926.
Oh,
yeah, that's good.
That's quite enthused, Chris.
It's a good time period to be in London. A lot of the buildings are the same.
Not in the East End, they aren't.
Oh, no. They only just
some are obvious.
They only just built the Shard, 1927 maybe? Might be a little, I'm kidding, of course. But
somewhere around 1927.
My favorite story about the Shard is how when they built it and some finance bro had his McLaren or something parked down there, and the light from the Shard went beaming down into it like a magnifying glass, and it caught on fire.
No way, I didn't.
I'm not even making that up. That's a real thing that happened.
Come on.
That's what I call poetic justice.
That's too on the nose.
I work in the city. No, you don't. Not anymore. No. Well, you ain't driving home, pal.
Nope. What else we got going on?
I was going to say the Shard is featured in the Bells of St. John.
Yes, it is.
As Matt Smith's Doctor drives up the side on a motorcycle.
That's true. Oddly enough, I don't remember seeing the Shard as much I don't either. In London. Was it there? Did they take it down at night or something like that? Like
it's there. I just wasn't looking all that hard.
Yeah.
It's probably best not to look over to the south side of the river.
Sorry, everyone.
That's where it is.
So
sad. That's where their bodies are not allowed to be dumped. So
No, it's in the river. That's between the north and south sides.
What a breach in protocol on my part.
It's weird that whenever you buy like London skyline things, it's like here's your Tower of London, here's your London Eye. That seems to have squeaked in there, but like the Shard doesn't seem to like.
That's true, yeah. And that Lego sort of like tableau thing. Yeah. By the way, I have a Lego question for you, completely off topic, Steven.
Oh, here we go.
I keep getting ads on Instagram about Lego, and it goes to Amazon, and they're like an insane amount of money. Is that just a thing?
I don't know, Warren, because I don't go to Amazon for Lego. I go to Lego.com.
Yeah, that's
for
what I
Lego.
figured.
But
I figured there's some sort of scam happening. You might be up on these Lego
Probably.
scams.
You know what? It's funny because I was looking on my tracking because, of course, this week, kids, this week here in North America, we get our season 13 Blu-ray sets coming out.
Mm-hmm.
On Thursday, it's supposed to arrive. And yeah, somewhere on the bottom of the page, I want to say that I saw the Lego... Sorry, the Lego time machine from Back to the Future officially is what it's called.
Oh,
and well, because
they can't use the trademark DeLorean name.
DeLorean, and
right,
and it's there's a whole bunch of Lego sets under there, and they're like offers and this thinking, this sounds dodgy and stuff. What's this thing? That's not even Lego. What is that here for? Apwar? What is Apwar? APAWR?
See, I'm getting a new bookshelf today, and I'd like to I already have the tall neck from Horizon Zero Dawn and Lego Forum on the one, so I want to get another Lego, but I was looking, I'm like, that Enterprise looks great, but I'm not spending $450 on it. That is insane.
Pretty expensive, that one. I got no place for that either. No, I wouldn't trust those links, Warren. I wouldn't trust them.
No, I wouldn't either. They're just insanely ridiculous. $300 Ghostbusters Ecto One. I'm like, this sounds dodgy as hell.
Well, the Ecto One thing is, see, some of them are out of print now, so that's why they're probably.
That's probably what these ones are too.
Yeah, you got to buy them from like third market sites now and stuff. If you
I've definitely seen greatly inflated prices on the Capaldi TARDIS console.
Oh yeah,
Lego Ideas.
I've got that kicking around here somewhere. Yeah.
Got that.
I did buy, just as a complete sop to 1970s nonsense, I saw that the 1978 issue of Mad from January with the spoof of Star Wars was for sale on eBay for $20, so I done bought it.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's on its way.
Absolutely. Wow. They're gonna give them what's for, let me tell you.
I'm going to hear about the lighter side of hippies, thanks to Dave Berg and all that good stuff.
Hippies. 1978. Those hippies are finally getting what's coming to them.
He was out of date then. Like, that was kind of part of the joke even then, that Dave Berg was just recycling the same nonsense from 1964.
I do miss the wit and humor for Mad Magazine. One of my favorite things ever was their spoof of the Michael Douglas vehicle, Black Rain, where they just moved the one letter and they called it Lack Brain.
I mean, it's all kind of stupid, but that's kind of the part of the charm too, really. And using the word "eck" and whenever they could.
Lack brain.
Lack brain.
It's so simple. It just works.
Although it's a 1989 spoof, so I'm like, oh, how problematic is this? Because the movie itself is
is it? Where does?
Well, it's Americans fighting the Yakuza in Osaka.
In Japan.
No. Yeah. Ridley Scott film. It's not as bad as Rising Sun, which is very problematic.
Oh, the Sean Connery one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's a sensei for some reason.
Nuts. That's too bad.
Well, I mean, his turn as an Irishman in The Untouchables was
hey, let's not forget he's Egyptian in Highlander.
Won him an Oscar.
He rules in Highlander. None of that makes any sense, and it's great.
Let's not forget in You Only Live Twice that they actually says, I'm hiding out in Japan, so they actually make him look like what they think a Japanese person looks like. Yeah, baby. It's,
That is not great at all.
Yeah, they basically get the old Lee Sen Chang makeup package out for Sean Connery in 1967.
I'm running out of shirts to tug here, people.
I know. It's tough work. Yeah, look at all these white people feeling awkward about their past racism. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
A couple of sad things to mention. Marcus Gilbert died. He, of course, was Ancelin in
Ancelin F. Goldschmidt, Knight General of the Britons.
There it is in Battlefield. Underrated story, honestly. Battlefield. 2/3 of us think it's an underrated story. He was lovely in it. He was, he appeared in the DVD documentary and stuff. Still a dreamboat, like 20 years after the fact. He was a very handsome man, but he
67. That's kind of young to die.
I had a battle with cancer, and unfortunately, but of course went on to other stuff. But after Doctor Who, but of course we know him from that. He's his one and only, as it turns out, Big Finish is coming out in March. Brave New World Nightfall, where of course he reunites with Angela Bruce as Brigadier Winifred Bambera in that. So that'll be a posthumous release, sadly, for Marcus Gilbert. But from everyone who knew him, very nice fellow apparently. So that was very sad news.
I forget the particulars, but I seem to remember in the 90s, so like after Battlefield, after I'd heard of him, there was some, I think it was a TV commercial in Britain where he was naked.
Oh, the coffee one. Yeah.
He was in coffee ads or something like that.
He was like the coffee dreamboat guy. Yeah.
Caused a bit of an uproar or something like that.
Naked in a coffee ad? That you're just conflating stuff now. You're like
I don't
Ralph
know.
Wiggum talking about like
I don't know if I am or not, to be honest.
Okay. One of the babies looked at me, sort of thing. Okay.
Hey, that Ralph Wiggum quote is easy to trot out for any number of reasons now. So
That's a very good point, actually. Very, very good point. Also, Derek Martin, who is famous for EastEnders, a show that we, of course, don't watch. But, of course, he was in Doctor Who, which is why he makes the role here. He passed away at the age of 92. He started as, like, an actor and then, like, went to be on part of, like, the Havoc stunt team a little bit and then sort of went back, like basically tread the line between actor and stunt performer throughout the years of Doctor Who.
which is a form of acting too, let's be honest.
I know. He was going to be at Gallifrey One like 4 or 5 years ago, I want to say, too, but had to pull out somewhat late in the game. I think he might have even been on an RFS show. I think I very briefly made a title card for him before he had to pull out of the show. So, yeah, he passed away at the age of 92, sadly. So there, as always, we end our news with sad news when
Depressing.
people die. Because where else, as Chris says, where else are you going to put it, really? You know?
It's a fair point.
That's true. Anything else you want to say before we get to the Day of the Doctor then and cheer ourselves up?
Gird your loins for a lot of talking about Day of the Doctor.
Oh, boy, we love it. I don't even know how long we went on for, but...
A long time. But it was all good. It was all gushing and wonderfulness.
I don't think we went on for the 76 minutes that is the duration of the Day of the Doctor.
I'm not sure. We may have.
It was wow. It's a good episode. Chris, any final thoughts?
No.
Okay, good to hear. This might, 1051, Chris, I want to say, is this your 1,000th episode? As
My first one was 47.
47, we've already passed it then. Well, no, you've missed the odd one.
And we've
here
also
and there.
done a whole bunch of, I've missed the odd one here and there, as have we all, but we also have a whole bunch of unnumbered things.
That's true, okay.
I just looked at my recording for the Day of the Doctor thing is just over 58 minutes. So
okay. That was wrong.
That's approximately how long we drone on for.
There we go. Well, all right. Then enjoy 58 minutes of us talking about the Day of the Doctor and indeed its director, Nick Hurran, in the Miniscope.
Could be a theme park from the future. Or we might be inside a miniscope.
Oh, shut up.
A miniscope, yes, of course, why not?
It's time, everyone. It's time to talk about Nick Hurran, director of Doctor Who. 5 different episodes. We've already talked about his first 4. His last one to date for Doctor Who happened to occur in 2013, November 23rd, to be specific. It is the Day of the Doctor. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yepers. Yeah.
What more needs to be said?
What more needs to be said? When's the last time that either of you had watched this, out of curiosity?
Probably a year or two ago. I'll go in and skip around and see little bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Chris, you? Any?
Oh, I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
It's been many years for sure.
It almost feels like when I started watching, I almost thought like why? It almost feels like that it's the Day of the Doctor is that special bottle of wine or bottle of scotch or something that you just save for a special occasion. And like in the first few minutes, I'm going like, should I just be watching this? Like it just feels like this needs to be like a special occasion, you know, like there needs to be a national holiday around it because it's just so.
You're not 100% wrong on that one.
You know what I mean? Like it just felt like why you should like I'm just gonna pop up Day of the Doctor and stuff like that. Whatever.
Hey, when it came out to us, it felt like a national holiday.
It was a national holiday, you know.
Well, the stars aligned when it came out, insofar as 50th anniversary, broadcast 50 years to the day.
Yeah.
It was a Saturday, same as the first
Simulcast
episode being
worldwide
broadcast.
in theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, simulcast worldwide, and that was like,
Absolutely perfect.
We also had the theater, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Stephen and I, the theater we went to at South Common, I think, in
Yes, it
Edmonton.
was. Yep.
As we've talked about however many times before on here, the show was at whatever time, noon?
It was like
Something
noon
that?
or something because it broadcasts around I think it's 7 p.m. UK time. I think is what
Yeah, it was around that
we-
for me too. 11.
We
something.
got to the theater at 10.
10:30 to make sure. Yeah,
10 or 9:30 or
it
something
was early.
like that.
Yeah.
It was really, really early, and they let us into the theater. And once we were in there, there was somebody who convinced the theater staff to let them hook their iPad up to the projector.
Unbelievable.
So we could watch pirated DivX X-vids of Nightmare in Silver.
That will never happen again.
Yeah.
Was it Crimson Horror? Was it the last 3 before Day of the Doctor or something?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, we ended
anyway,
up
whatever it was 2 or 3 episodes leading up to Day of the Doctor. So ending with Night of the, or Day of the Night Day. Too many of the Doctors in that era.
I wasn't sure
name of the Doctor.
Name of the Doctor.
Right.
John.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still great.
Anyway, and then so that we got all the intro videos and whatever, and then at least in our cinema there was like an impromptu cosplay fashion show.
Yeah,
a bunch of people came in cosplay.
Mine was nowhere near that event. We just went in and saw it.
Yeah.
I still remember, Stephen, it blowing your socks off that somebody came as Paul McGann from Night of the Doctor, which aired like
3 days ago or
3
something.
days before or something.
Yeah, astounding.
That's nuts.
Astounding work that was. I still remember too. I'm gonna call you out, Chris. Is that when it got all quiet and stuff like that, and
I know where this is going.
And it says, I really think you might, and then you whisper to me, Peter Capaldi, and then
you couldn't be more wrong.
And then Tom Baker walked on screen, which I thought was all you did. Yeah.
I still remember you pull your phone out to watch Unearthly Child at 10:20 and whatever.
I did do that.
I am not in the least bit surprised.
Why wouldn't I? I mean, what a time to do it, 50,
was this the first time? I mean, it's the first time for me for sure. Though I saw Doctor Who on the big screen.
Yes.
I can't think of another time before that.
After that, things like Deep Breath and Dark
right.
Water, Death in Heaven, whatever, all that stuff came after with the Capaldi stuff.
So like that attack on Gallifrey with the saucers, I was like, I think I'm having a moment right now. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And shot in 3D, like properly shot in 3D, so not,
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a day.
Oh, yeah.
And it's still tough to divorce the episode proper from the experience of watching it and the experience of celebrating 50 years of Doctor Who.
Did you watch it again as soon as you got home? Because I did.
You know what?
I don't remember.
At the time, no, because I remember, Chris, you went off with some friends, and I was just
went for food.
I was emotionally spent, and I went home. I think I watched the 5-ish Doctors, and then let's face it, I immediately found a copy and ripped the audio from it so I could throw it on our episode intro for the next day's recording. So I was busy I don't know if I did. I must have surely, because it probably either I probably did record it, I probably downloaded it, let's face it, and just watched it again just for note taking, But I just remember just being emotionally exhausted at the end of that whole day and just the whole week, let's face it, from Adventure in Space and Time.
Totally. My backstory is that my girlfriend at the time, Mel, she was going to go with me, and then this other friend of mine, Eric Fell, you should go see, if you're in Vancouver, go see the Critical Hit show. He's still doing it. He came with me because he's like, I couldn't get a ticket, and I'd gotten 2, and she's like, take him instead. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do that. So I took him, and he was super happy about it. And both of us are bawling like babies when Tom Baker shows up and trying to be real men and not show it.
Listen,
and then I came home and we watched it. Me and Mel watched it. So
right, I was a wreck after watching it this time. I was a wreck.
I was more emotionally hit than I thought I'd be.
Yeah, me too. And I can't tell if it's... Honestly, I don't think it wasn't like nostalgia of the day or anything like that. I think
it's the actual episode.
It was the actual episode. Exactly. It was the impact of the story and how it was told, and the space that it was allowed and the subtlety that was allowed. And I have this in my notes, and it's towards the end of the episode, but just how... Like when it's all 3 Doctors in there, they're looking at the box with the red button on it and everything, and everyone's just speaking really quietly, and the music is just like if it was made today, that would be bombast, and they'd be yelling and they'd be crying and everything else, but it's all
a lot quicker too. Yeah,
it's so underplayed, and that's why it hits. So that when you eventually come out of it and they think, they come up with an idea, paintings and this. I remember watching it in the theater thinking, they are going to blow up Gallifrey again. They're actually you just bought into it. You felt like they were going to have to do this because they are all 3 of the Doctors are so committed to it. But it's directed so beautifully that they allow themselves to really just swing out of that. And so when the moment happens, they come up with the idea of paintings and everything, a cup of soup. they just like, you just feel like, oh my god, they just saved the universe. So like, and that's proper direction right there. That is proper
writing
direction.
too. Like the way there's all the setups and payoffs in this is just great. Like the Sonic being the software, and then they do that with the TARDIS, and all those, and there's just like, I don't know, 10 more of those bits and pieces that he sets it up and pays it off. They're all great.
It's immaculately written. Yeah,
very clever writing for sure. Yeah, yeah. And I can't remember if I pointed it out last time or not, but just like Moffat's ability to put the information out there, but in a, don't even want to say slightly cryptic manner, but the information's out there, but not necessarily obvious, and then the reveal comes and it becomes so obvious, such
Why
as
is he not making mysteries?
The name
He's so
of
good
the
at it.
that's a good question.
Mysteries? Well, he did a little show called Sherlock.
Well, I guess so, yeah.
But you know, that's source material, though. I mean, you know, it's
like his own mysteries.
Yeah,
they didn't faithfully adapt anything. I don't.
That's a
think
good point. That's a good point. They're very
much their own thing.
Yeah,
but the example I love using from Day of the Doctor for all that is the painting. You know, it's no more or Gallifrey stands, and that's the way you look at it throughout the whole thing until you get the reveal at the end of no, it's Gallifrey falls no more. Is this stands? I meant it's false. Anyway, Gallifrey falls no more. Yeah, and then it's like, oh yeah, okay, that's like, and it's just this little light bulb goes off over your head, and the information was sitting there for 45 minutes or an hour, but you just didn't know to do it in that way. Yeah,
because everyone, well, they only say it 2 or 3 times. It's called no more or Gallifrey Falls. So everyone keeps saying it in that order. If someone just randomly said it's called Gallifrey Falls or no more, everyone would go, wait a second, I know what this is.
But that's very much on purpose, of course, to hide that reveal.
Yep.
To actually make it a reveal.
Or even where McGillen or whatever his name is gets the call. Get the call at the beginning, and then later on you've got Matt Smith on the phone there going, I'm a time traveler, figure it out. And that's a great payoff too. I mean, it's a little more obvious, but it's still a great payoff.
Yeah, absolutely is. Because, you know, it's made to look like, oh, he's Sir. Like, he was like, is he under the influence of something like that? Because when he answers the phone, yes, sir, I'll do that. Oh, no, someone is influencing him. It's the Doctor himself, mere seconds after he leaves the room.
Yep, some great timey-wimey stuff for sure.
Superb. And you know what? I mean, I'm usually calling out member berries and stuff like that as the years have gone on. I think 50th anniversary episodes, I think you're allowed. That's your get out of free jail card. You're allowed.
They have some pretty damn good member berries in this.
Yeah.
Like Never Cruel or Cow. That's where I got real emotional. Never Cruel or Cowardly. Never Give Up, Never Again. I'm like, oh, you got me again.
You bet. The policeman obviously walking along the wall, very first shot in slow motion. Another slow motion walking thing. Another Nick Hurran thing. Clara's teaching at the school as she's riding out on the motorbike. The clock is 5:16 because that's the time that Doctor Who aired for the first time.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, it is. It is, and it annoys me because why is she getting out of school at that hour?
Hey, teachers. Teachers.
No.
All right.
Why is she getting? Yeah, but she's leaving at the same time as a crap ton of students are leaving as well.
That's true.
We don't
know how the English system works.
I can see a teacher staying late to do some marking or whatever, but not with half the school's population also leaving at 5:15.
I'm going to say that I'm going to just my mind's eye is that she is obviously leading detention. She's in super
sure,
and so many people.
Because that'll be 2 hours after classes end.
That's the first reveal of Coal Hill School too, isn't it? I think of her teaching there.
Yeah, she wasn't a teacher up until that point.
Yeah, so. yeah. And also, I like to think in my headcanon that she's listening as she's driving toward the TARDIS to John Smith and the Common Man. That's my own member berry. I just added in there.
Quite possibly. Yeah. Anyway, another mirror shot I noticed when Clara stops the bike and you could see her face in the mirror. Another Nick Hurran specialty there.
At the beginning where she's got a transparent, for some reason, blackboard, which is very impractical, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
No, it's fantastic from a shooting point of view, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think
there's
it was
a lot of that.
Yeah, that's a weird effect because it's clearly not supposed to be a transparent chalkboard or whiteboard as it would be. So it's purely there as an effect, which I find
stylistic, essentially. Yeah,
literally writing on the fourth wall in a way. Yeah.
Also, if we're talking about the opener, I love. I'm a sucker for any seamless getting into the TARDIS shot and driving a motorbike into it. Right, pretty cool.
Also well done. Also, an actual helicopter flying the actual TARDIS through London and landing where? Trafalgar Square. Like, just, yeah. Wow. Love it.
And also, I noticed with Osgood, I'm like, because her outfit gets more and more over the top as time goes on. This one has just got the scarf. That's kind of it, really.
Yep. And even then, I felt like, oh, wow, is this a little too meta? I remember thinking at the time, but.
That's Osgood's debut, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's only Kate Stewart's second story. Because I made myself a note of, Power of Three was her first one, discounting stuff that wasn't, her, Gemma Redgrave, like in downtime. But
we're not counting downtime.
No, we're not counting downtime.
That's officially the launch of the character.
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful. Happy for him.
At any rate, one of the notes I made for myself is, despite it only being the second episode for Gemma Redgrave, like she nails the character. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
Dead on.
Yeah.
So is Osgood, really.
Yeah, I feel like poor Kate just gets, she just delivers lines in later appearances and just like, says what tech they have and just sort of shouts out various gobbledygook and everything. Like, but here she has a much better character.
Tons of stuff to do too.
That too,
playing a Zygon version of herself as well. So.
Yep, yeah. I feel like the character sort of does go downhill after the, after the Moffat here, if I'm gonna be honest, like, even like her appearance in Flux is like completely superfluous. There's no reason for her to be in Flux, and she's pretty good in Power of the Doctor, but again, she is just sort of there to tell everyone about the unit building essentially, and then
which then gets destroyed.
Fine,
yeah,
which is fine. I mean, her presence in Power of the Doctor is certainly better or more earned than it was in Flux.
I mean, there's probably parts where the Brig was kind of in the same boat. There's a few where it's a big deal, like where he blows up the the Silurians or something. But there's other ones where he's just kind of there, right?
Yeah.
So.
One thing I'd throw out there, just in relation to your Flux comment, is we didn't get the Flux we were supposed to get. So it might have been really different if things had unraveled the way they were meant to.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true. Yeah.
Or talking about the directing for a second, I know that I hear like Shakira, I could talk about Day of the Doctor all day. Doesn't matter to me. But just the thing where they're looking at the painting and then Hurran loves a montage is one of my notes. And there's cutting out of context stuff, like they cut to the Doctor in like a dark room or something screaming. Yeah. And then they go fades to him screaming and then alone in the gallery, just looking at the painting by himself. And then they morph semi-subtly from him to Hurt, from Smith's face to Hurt.
Yeah.
And then the zoom into the War Doctor in the painting, which is awesome, which looks cool in 2D. Did you actually watch it in 3D, Stephen?
I never did. I have seen it in 3D before, though.
Yeah, same here. We all did. Yeah.
I mean, like in my
I see.
My VR goggles. I have watched it twice, I think, in VR. I just didn't feel like it. There you go.
Yeah.
I just don't own a 3D Blu-ray player or TV.
No.
And I have a PSVR, but it doesn't do 3D like that. So unfortunately.
Yeah. But I mean, even in 2D, you're right that the painting effect was so
great.
Cool and so well done that I'm still not sure how they do it.
That was me. I'm like, it's not 3D, so how? Like, I kind of know how they're doing it, but it's interesting because it's convincing anyway.
Yeah.
With where Jenna Coleman stands and whatnot, I expected CSO, or like blue screen, but
it's got to be Everything is when you zoom in. I said in one of my notes, you always knew the Time War was Daleks versus Time Lords, but actually seeing them wreaking havoc on Gallifrey is some next level stuff. You're just like, they're just running around destroying everything. You're like, oh my god, the Daleks are actually doing it.
Was it RTD who said at some bigwig on the show at one point in time, if my memory is working, said that the Time War is something that you will be told about but never see, just because they didn't think they could do it justice for scale or whatever.
Probably RTD, I want to say.
Yeah, and he was right.
I think that was an RTD thing, but I mean, obviously, it's not like we're seeing a subset of a day of the war. It's not not like we're seeing a whole ton of it, but even that is still a lot of that's a lot of work that went into what we did see.
Oh, totally, yeah. In fact, there's one bit where the TARDIS, and I have no idea if Hurran has anything to do with this, but where the TARDIS clips that one Dalek and the mutant flies out of his casing. I just love that. It makes me laugh every time I see it.
Yeah,
I just like the and I'm sure this is script more than anything, but the Daleks saying, we've captured the Doctor or whatever, and then the TARDIS goes flying through the wall and just takes them out like bowling pins.
Yeah, that's great.
You
So
know,
good.
all the slow motion kind of shots too, like really artfully done, and for impact and everything else, which is cool. Daleks falling over and blowing up in slow mo always looks great. Fast
Even
forward
the
to-
eye stalk hitting the ground as he says, "What are these words?" That's great too.
You know, like fast forward to Ben Wheatley blowing up Daleks and into the Dalek with really cool slow mo blowing up effects too, like that. Yeah, so Nick Hurran had the market on that. I thought. I love. We talked about like all the little weird jump cuts and stuff like that. I love the slow motion walk and then the very slow motion reveal of John Hurt finally. Like we only see him from behind as he's shooting that, but then we just have that like focus pull as he's walking close to the camera. Then we realize who he is, which is pretty cool. I also love it like when Billy Piper shows up, who's great as
fantastic at the moment. Excellent.
As the moment. I love how because it's they set up that she's just the interface and she appears everywhere. Like, the War Doctor picks her up and throws her out the door, and then the camera
But the way they
tracks back.
cut that is so seamless.
The camera tracks back, and there's Billy Piper sitting there. I also love like later on, when the War Doctor's like talking to her or something like that, and he just goes and sits down, and she's there. She's just there because we've already established that she just appears wherever because she's not an actual.
It's just so seamlessly done. You just kind of accept it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for the previous bit, I love all the lights on everybody's face in the Omega Arsenal. Also, I love the not quite proper collars that they all have because they're the War Council, so they've got those weird kind of grid collars. Also, I have one note that says Ken Bone rules because Ken Bone does rule. He's awesome in this.
Yeah, Ken Bones. Yeah, plural.
Ken Bones.
Yeah, he is really good in it. And the War Council, which is good stuff. I also like
the High Council's plans have already failed. I did a whoop in the theater to myself because I'm like, oh yeah, he's devaluing End of Time. Yes.
I also liked I was watching the scene with the War Doctor and the moment. One of them was played by someone we know having played Rose, but she is not Rose. She is very not Rose. And we're seeing a scene with a Doctor we've never seen before. And that whole thing is utterly compelling. Because that whole scene is just about the two characters, basically, and the way it's directed. And familiar. It feels familiar, and it very much should not be.
Yeah, like two things about that. We've just met this new Doctor. We've barely met this new Doctor, and John Hurt is already the Doctor, even though he's telling you he's not, right? And Billy Piper is acting against John M.F. and Hurt, and she's doing a great job. Like that's not as easy as it looks.
One of the notes I wrote down was her no more mockery of John Hurt. And that was
I wonder how they work that in, because it's a weird thing to like no more, no more, no more. Do that. And like the various different jump cuts, no more, no. And then at the end,
for some of the notes I wrote, I did reference the script because it's on the BBC Writers' Room site,
right?
But not all of them. So that's one I did not look at. So you got me curious too.
Oh well, maybe we'll look. Maybe we'll find that script in the course of this. We won't. At least I won't. Maybe Chris will. Maybe you never know. As he types in the Day of the Doctor script.
My other note about Billy Piper at the moment is this makes the region that much cheaper. Getting real petty in the notes here.
That was her final appearance in Doctor Who, wasn't it? Until
I mean, this is the way out of this. The 16th Doctor is actually the moment somehow. Blah blah blah.
Sure, or we'll just let it be.
Or the Watcher. I don't know. Or she's the 16th Doctor, which I'm trying to avoid thinking, but okay.
Yeah, just don't think about it too hard, Warren. Don't think about it too hard.
Again, nothing against Billy Piper. This is all aimed at RTD.
So, in the script, he's referred to as the other Doctor.
Yes, and the captions for what it's worth. Yeah.
I thought it said Old Doctor.
Old Doctor, that's right. Old Doctor, yeah. I knew it wasn't War Doctor, it was Old Doctor, yeah.
Anyway, it was Rose, no more. The Doctor, startled. What's going on here? Who is this girl? How does she know so much? She's now stomping around the barn in a childish imitation of the Doctor, punctuating each stomp of her foot with no more.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of in the script, but
she put her own spin on it, yeah.
Yeah, I assume she probably had some input there.
As did the director, I assume, too.
Or did a bunch of them and they just picked the best one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they do sort of cut between them, yeah.
Because I if you watch Confidential and Unleashed, whatever, stuff like that, they'll always go on and on about how they don't have formal rehearsals like they would have done back in the classic series. So it makes me wonder how much rehearsal, like, did this being a longer episode and a milestone episode, I wonder if this had any more more traditional pre-production than some of the other stuff around it.
I'm guessing not. But I bet you they probably, like, they had probably a few minutes as they're setting up, essentially. Honestly, I would love to just spend the day on the Doctor Who set. Hopefully that day is...
Well, yeah, I think you speak for all of us
there. So you can get your own
Yeah.
studio footage?
Because I want to see studio footage of current Doctor Who. Because by the time the studio footage of the classic Doctor Who, all the rehearsals been done, and now they're just shooting it. But they've been rehearsing for like 10 days, for this this 4-part story they've been doing. Usually when they do filming, even in classic series, they didn't do rehearsals except for special exceptions, like Spearhead from Space, obviously, or stuff with like I think Mark of the Ronnie, I think, had probably some too, because there was so much on film. They would basically show up and do it as a film. They would just say, okay, we're going to rehearse the scene and then we'll record it, that sort of thing. Like, everyone sort of knows their lines and stuff. So I feel like that probably hasn't changed much, but I'm wondering if there is an exception to that. I know when they recorded Dalek with Joe Ahern, Christopher Eccleston like specifically asked Nick Briggs, can we go somewhere and like just run this scene together several times, which surprised Nick Briggs, because I'm just like, oh, that is the voice, are you sure? So I'm sure that the actors run their scenes a little bit, but how much they actually I'm wondering how much they have that scene in their head down by the time they actually go up to the director and they're ready to shoot it. I'm very curious. This is why I'd like to spend a day on set just to watch that process happen.
And how much does that vision inside their head mesh with the vision of the director or the producer or the camera operator or whoever?
Because the director's probably like, he's setting up his shots and his lighting and all that with like stand-ins and stuff. And while that's happening, that's when the cast is sort of like rehearsing them on their own time, sort of thing, So I'm always so curious about what that process is. I imagine it's no more different for Doctor Who than it is for like literally any other TV show or movie that's made today. But because it's Doctor Who, though, I want to see it specifically done for Doctor Who.
Yes.
Yeah. What next? I had a whole bunch of notes as well, but I mean, surprisingly more than I thought I did. After a while, I was thinking, I should really write some notes, but I have a whole bunch of them because I was just lost in the story.
I speak for all three of us that about halfway through, I just started watching and I kind of lost track of doing any notes, except for little bits and pieces.
Yeah, me too. Like, bunch of nice overhead shots throughout the episode. Oh, that's a nice little thing. This nice little shot of the photo of Susan on the wall in the black archive there, and Clara looking
another
like,
memberberry, but who cares?
Yeah, but like just connecting. There's the first companion and the most recent companion. I thought it was kind of a cool little subtle moment.
If you want to talk about overhead shots, just to jump to near the end, where I'm ready, and then he's there with the moment itself.
Yeah,
and they have the pan down from his head, and there's the big kind of ruby jewel thing. That's a great overhead shot.
Yeah. It really is.
I just don't want to forget that when we get to it. So
no. I mean, I had I made a mention of on the last time of the Asylum of the Daleks when the slow motion Dalek eye stalk comes out of Darla's head, and I just wanted to point out the slow motion vomiting of Kate Stewart Zygon.
It's grisly as hell.
Oh God, it's gross. It's the only time that they do it.
Gross.
Yeah, it's the only time that the Zygons do that.
The whole makeup bit with her strung up is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good too.
Great, yeah.
What else did I have? I also like that it's David Tennant and Billie Piper in the same episode, but Hurran kind of treats it like Michael Mann did having Pacino and De Niro in Heat together.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
They never properly appear in the same shot.
That's okay. In Heat, they do. They do have that.
They
cafe
do,
meetup,
but even then, they're in the one scene, but they're reverse shot. They never, very rarely actually appear. And so only when the Tennant's doctor says "Bad Wolf," and you see Billie Piper in behind it, and that's it. That's the only proper shot of them together. Other times, like she's off in the distance behind or something like that, or they're never really properly framed.
She was briefly there in the cell in the tower. hour.
Very briefly, though, you know?
But it's not just the two of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so when
That's
it's
a great
only...
scene, by the way. I mean, there's a ton of great scenes in this, but I love that tower stuff where they're talking to themselves, which in the circumstances is strange, boys. Like this, just all of that is great.
Yeah, you know, and subtle. Like it surprised me, I guess, how many subtle character scenes there are throughout this whole episode. That being one of them. That the big confrontation with the moment at towards the end there, the climax, so to speak, is another one of them. You know, the one at the end obviously is another. Just a well played, underplayed, subtle scene again, but it's made more impactful because of that. You know.
When you think about it, like not only is this celebrating the 50th anniversary, it's also basically changing the trajectory of the show, sort of recombobulating the whole Gallifrey myth. It's also giving John Hurt's doctor, who didn't exist before this, except for the tail-ended name of the doctor, like an entire arc in the space of an hour. Like it's doing a hell of a lot.
And he's introduced nice and early as well, unlike the TV movie. One little thing, just to go back to the jail scene. Apparently, the code for the vortex manipulator is 1716231163.
Yeah, of course it is.
Of course it is. Oh,
one thing that was two little things I love when they're in the forest. One is that I said, I love how a new doctor emerging from a time vortex is just the cheapest trick in the world. Legs landing onto camera. It's like, boop, and there he is. Like, and they do that a couple times. Like, yeah, that's Doctor Who, all right.
They do.
But also one of my little character bit is where he goes, they're not sand shoes. And John Hurt gives the most dad reading of, yes, they are. Like, that's just your dad telling you that. And you're like, oh, I got burned pretty hard there.
Yeah. The whole interplay between all three is classic.
What are you going to do? Assemble a cabinet at them? It's so, because like he's supposed to be this scary guy who kills all the Daleks, blah, blah, blah. But then he's also a doctor and all this, you know, the kind of Tom Baker-esque stuff he's throwing at him.
Yeah.
But by the same token, he's also like, that's a scientific instrument. And then he's like, that's a screwdriver. It's just a screwdriver.
Not a water pistol.
Is there a lot of this in the future? It starts to happen, yeah.
Like, you know, that's another thing. Meta references, I'm not usually a fan of. 50th anniversary episodes.
Yeah, and these are very well done.
My top of the list there is Timey what?
Yeah.
Timey?
Yeah.
And he's right. He's got a point. I love how like Stephen Moffat's not afraid to make fun of himself with this. So
yeah, because that's his line. Yeah.
Also, there's the flip side to that as well, or a flip side to that is Stephen Moffat also having reverence for the show before, insofar as letting David Tennant's last line still be, "I don't want to go."
Yeah, I thought that was more of a joke than anything else. It kind of works as that too. It's like.
You can see it as poignant. You can see it as not quite satirical, but a little
poking it into time, which he's walking straight into from this. If you're looking at it chronologically, because he's not going to remember this, so he's going to remember bits and pieces
from
of
this to the end of time.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah. Just in terms of directing, there's some really good. There's a menacing shot of the Zygon. It's like you shoot. I think it's like one of those number plates or something, but you see reflected Osgood and the Zygon.
Another one.
That's a good one. Yeah. And there's another great one in the Black Archive where they're doing the split screen with the two Kates, and the red LEDs are covering up one of the Kates so they can have a double there. And I'm like, oh, very nicely done, guys.
Oh, I never noticed that. Nice.
So it's probably not a split screen. It's probably a double. But yeah, all that stuff is pretty seamless too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't even think about it, just as a complete aside of how late in the incarnation it is for all of the doctors involved. Because as we were just talking about, Tennant goes from here to the end of time. Matt Smith has, time with the doctor.
Adventure, yeah.
And John Hurt goes into his TARDIS and regenerates into Eccleston.
Yeah.
So
which I loved. I love that. And you don't see it too, but you know it's
you see just enough of the eyes.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I just never thought about how late in life it was for each of these three incarnations.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Wearing a bit thin. Oh, good stuff.
Did you?
Just hearing John Hurt say Zygon, I'm like, my God, did we ever think we'd see this?
Right.
Or one member berry that always gets all of us is the roundels in John Hurt's TARDIS.
Round things.
Yes, absolutely. What are the round things? No idea. That's so good.
Very lovely. Did you have any Any notes, Chris? Not that we've expired our list, but I don't think we've got
Yeah, I've
yours
got
yet.
a few.
Yeah,
I've got a few. Just right out of the gate, basically the epic opening with the helicopter and the overhead shots and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's not where it starts. You've got Clara and whoever it was that delivered the message from the doctor to Clara.
Mm-hmm.
How many people get phone calls from their doctor? Like most people. Why is it such a big deal? I don't know.
Oh.
I just didn't like the way he portrayed, like he did that line reading. But anyway, just this is something that needs to be big and epic, and we get that very, very shortly in with Matt Smith hanging off, and it is Matt Smith hanging off the bottom of a police box, being lowered into Trafalgar Square. Just beautiful.
It is very much so. Yep. Just epic, like just suitably epic. Like I remember when, I wasn't paying attention to set reports, but there was no way they were getting around. I think they pretty much publicized it. Like, yes, as a helicopter,
they had to
flying the TARDIS in. It was not something they were going to try to hide or.
we know people who were there for that. So
that's what we do, don't we? Yeah. We know lots of people who were at shooting Doctor Who location.
Another thing I love is just like Robert Holmes, just throwaway world building. Like, the Ravens need new batteries. So that just tells you a million things about what's going on here in one line. That's a throwaway. It's great.
I know. Yeah. What else got you on the list there, Chris?
Warren already covered up with the montage of Matt Smith reactions / expressions when looking at the painting. Just loved it. Oh man, it's covered so many things. Tennant's delivery of "It's a machine that goes."
Yeah.
Ding.
Yeah.
I don't know when to stop.
There's a lot of great characterization stuff in here. Like just great performances from everybody.
Yeah, they're all top of their game.
Except for that guy who delivers your doctor phone.
See, the way when he said that though, I thought he'd probably already met the doctor. So he was like, "Oh, your doctor, that weirdo comes by on occasion." Like,
nope. Because the doctor hadn't seen her since she started there.
Yeah, I guess so.
The blocking during the horse Zygon scene with Tennant always obstructing almost always obstructing the view of the horse.
Yeah,
just to help sell the gag. That was something I did check in the script, and that blocking was not scripted. So that's something that I'm assuming her and Tennant and Joanna Page worked out on the day, perhaps, or something.
And that's awesome because that is both solves a budget thing by not having to do a complicated CG transition from horse to Zygon, but also it's funnier when you don't see it.
Exactly. Yes.
We hear it and we can see the horse behind there, and then all of a sudden you can't see the horse, and that's like, oh my god, I know what's going on now. Yeah,
It's also so in character for the 10th Doctor to make a mistake like that.
Yeah.
And then marrying, like the whole thing about him marrying Elizabeth was this whole thing we've heard about, and it turns out it was all his own screw up in the first place, which is great. Also, just to be petty for a second, this is properly epic. I don't see a cent of Disney money here.
Right? I know. Where do they get money for this? Where do they
they spent it on helicopters and CG.
I did, and then they just had three guys sitting in a stone dungeon for 10 minutes, and it was great.
It's worth every penny, man.
It was great. I know.
Yeah, not to mention in the vein of clever writing, 3 of you locked in the dungeon and nobody thought to check if the door was unlocked.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
That is such an absent.
I remember the audience losing it at that.
Thing.
Yeah.
God, Moffat, you're so good.
Also, I remember one person when somebody mentioned statues, because they're looking at the statues and all the rest of it in the under gallery or whatever, and one person just started screaming in the theater, "Oh God, it's the Weeping Angels!" Right? And we're like, "Oh, maybe it is." And of course, it wasn't, but it's actually the 5th, 6th, and 7th Doctor. Duh.
Apparently, yeah. Once I watched this for recording purposes again this afternoon, but I watched it a few days ago as well. And as soon as the paint was dry on day, I fired up 5ish Doctors because I hadn't seen that in forever either. Laughed my ass off there, and then fired up Time of the Doctor and watched that right after. And as much as Warren, you were talking about the like screwing around with the Gallifrey mythos and stuff here,
which I'm fine with. But yeah,
we get totally. We get a whole different side of that in Time of the Doctor in the next episode,
which is also great.
Which is also great. there was no specific need necessarily to have to give the 11th Doctor a whole string of newer generations. That's just, playing with canon, whatever. But the story could have been written without that and been just fine. But I like it was in there.
Yep.
Anyway, we'll get to that whenever we talk about whoever directed.
Who directed Time of the Doctor?
No idea.
Whoever directed that one.
Yeah.
But my when I was watching Day of the Doctor,
find out.
immediately Plex kicked, or whatever it was using, kicked into Time of the Doctor. I'm like, no. But I want to. I kind of want to keep watching.
Jamie Payne, for what it's worth, directed Time of the Doctor.
Was it now? Okay. Yeah.
Did he also do Hyde? I can't remember now if he did Hyde or not. I think he might have done Hyde. He did Hyde as well.
Hyde and Time of the Doctor. Yeah, just the two. So he's not going to be in the Miniscope.
No, sadly.
Too bad, because Time of the Doctor's pretty damn great.
Unless we change the rules sometime later on.
So is Hyde.
Yeah.
Well, to a little bit of inside baseball before we get to the end of our episode, when we will pick the next Miniscope victim. Right now, there are currently 10 names in there. We have some that haven't yet been put in because their stuff hasn't gone out for them yet to qualify, but we have more in the pipe. But right now there's
one
10.
guess who it is based on the fact that there's one director who's made the 5 remaining episodes of Disney Doctor Who / the War Between the Land and Sea.
Dylan Holmes Williams is one of them. Yes.
He will be there. Yep, he will be there.
I bet you he's waiting. He's like, I gotta get in the Miniscope. Come on, guys.
But we covered. Was it John Black who did K9 and Company?
John Black did K9 and Company. Yeah,
we covered that with him as well, if memory serves. So.
Yeah, we have yet to do John Black. I don't think so. But he's in there because of that.
Well,
yeah.
What do you know? You're right. Yeah, he's on the list of we haven't yet done him. So
we got a 1 in 10 chance to get him at
watch
the end of
K9
this.
Company. I don't like the sounds of this.
I know.
Actually, it's not that bad. It's just a terrible theme song.
I know. Whatever we watch is not going to be Day of the Doctor. So,
Well, no.
true. We're gonna have to take some time.
But whether you bought the Invisible Enemy DVD or the season 18 Blu-ray set, K9 and Company is included with both of those. So
there you are. Yeah.
It's very very easily obtainable. Anyway, notes. The low angle camera during the chase in the woods. I love that.
Oh yeah.
And then Tennant's delivery of his warning to the rabbit, so similar to the way he did it in Voyage of the Damned.
Yeah, intentionally,
Voyage,
of course.
Voyage of the Damned. I don't. Maybe this is just me. I don't know. In Voyage of the Damned, it was delivered as this
big deal,
proper heroic shot,
big deal. Yeah, exactly. Versus here, it's like a lot more tongue in cheek.
Yeah, you can tell it's a wind up right from the beginning, and you're supposed to, right? So yeah,
you're just a big rabbit, aren't you? Yep.
So I mean, I don't know if that's. I suppose that's part of Moffat poking gentle fun at RTD, perhaps.
As he did a few times in this episode regarding David Tennant's characterization.
I mean, they're good friends, so it's probably all good fun. You're right. Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things I really, really liked was the shattered glass when they're in the undergallery. They're talking, you see the shattered glass all over the floor, and then it cuts to a close up of glass shattering, and then the Doctor's like, "No, look at the shatter pattern. It came from inside. It came from inside the painting outward." And so they cut back to this close up of glass shattering, but it's the other. It's reversed. It's reversed.
Yeah.
The playback is, or the image is flipped 180 on the vertical axis, and I thought that's just a great little touch.
Yep.
That has no business being in there. It has no necessity, but it's just a great little touch.
Yep.
There's way more weird bits like that in the 50th anniversary show than you'd think.
Yeah, and I don't know if they were like, did Nick Hurran have the idea for some of these shots? Because this doesn't sound like a scripted thing. It sounds like he basically like, I think I want to do this, so let's shoot stuff like this for editing later. These little asides and stuff like that. All those have to be shot at some point. So it's got to be up to the director to have an idea of what the finished edit will also sort of look like based on that. Unless he was thinking, in the edit, what we should do? You should get some shots of Matt Smith screaming and close up to the eyes. You don't do that because it costs money to bring in actors to look there, to stand there and look at things for a whole day, especially at that time when basically Matt Smith is like almost done. almost done his time
Yeah,
as Doctor
true.
Who, and John Hurt's a guest actor, so they wouldn't necessarily bring him back either. So all that stuff was probably thought of beforehand, and
I'm
knowing
pretty
that,
sure it was,
it would show up in the final edit. So credit to Nick Hurran for thinking ahead and knowing what shots he wanted to get for coverage in the editing suite. Good for him.
I would say, not to take away from your praise of him, but I would hope that's incumbent upon any director to have that kind of vision.
That's true, but
that's why you're hiring him, right? So
but oftentimes it's like coverage of like a scene. Like I want to get all the angles of the scene and close-ups and stuff, but like the weird idiosyncratic cutaway, like those weird shots that we just talked about, those are the ones that don't necessarily, aren't necessarily part of the scene that you're shooting. Those are separate shots to support the scene, if you understand my meaning. So it takes some time to sort of like think about what you want to have done there.
When you're hiring a guy to direct the 50th anniversary show, you want some visionary looking stuff. This reminds me of, I remember reading in Premiere magazine, for all you old people who remember that, about the making of Malcolm X, and Spike Lee turns to Denzel Washington and talks about making Malcolm X, and he's like, yo, watershed. That pretty much sums it up. This is what we got to measure up to before they made it, right?
Right.
That's kind of, I don't know how they made Day of the Doctor. Could have been a frenetic mess for all I know, but I get the feeling that somebody at somewhere was turning to somebody going, yo, watershed. As if they weren't, they should have, because that's what this is.
Well, the writing of it was certainly a thing, but it at the expense of basically half a season of Doctor Who going to air without Stephen Moffat casting a glance at it. As I've said before, I will happily sacrifice
Exactly. I'm fine with it.
the overall quality of something like The Rings of Akaton and Nightmare of Silver, if that meant that we got the Day of the Doctor. Happily.
Yeah.
And I'll drink my Buckley's mixture if I get better.
Yep.
Sure, sounds good. Very Canadian, but there's your CanCon for you.
Yeah.
Not that we haven't talked about writing a lot, and not that we're supposed to talk about writing, but even like right off the bat when Clara's doing the Marcus Aurelius quote, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. Because there's the whole no more thing all throughout this. And then that's even foreshadowing for Capaldi, because the first season of Capaldi is he a good man? So
That's right.
it's kind of some
thought-
writing on the wall.
My thought, and there's no way that anything to do with the Day of the Doctor, was, oh yeah, you get on social media now and anybody quoting Romans as an incel. Does that mean Claire is an incel? What's going on here?
Different time.
I know.
And then we get Capaldi, the shot notes for all 13.
Another one where the audience lost their minds.
Oh my God! Yep. Shot on October 3rd. That was, by the way,
The first day of shooting for not for Deep Breath. That was the first day of shooting when they shot the regeneration from his end, I think.
Okay,
Right.
that makes sense.
Or first day of
Because he
Deep
is
Breath,
in the
somewhere
TARDIS there, right? It's not just some
Oh,
blurred
yes.
out background.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
but they had yet to determine what his like costume was going to look like or
Yeah.
anything. So
Oh, it's
just a
perfect.
tight
I mean,
shot
showing
of
the
the
eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
why
we all
wouldn't
knew.
you?
We all knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I changed that so it's no, sir, all 15.
Or maybe
You could.
16, depending on, or no, maybe 17. We're counting Billy Piper. Yeah. Not really.
No, sir, Richard E. Grant for some reason.
Well, we can see what happens for the 75th in a few years' time.
When it's all AI doctors.
And writing.
And writing, too.
And camera direction.
And everything else.
Thank God I'll be dead.
Wow. It's only it's
almost-
only like 12 years from now, Warren. Come on.
Oh, I thought you were saying the 100th anniversary.
No,
Sorry.
75th. No.
Oh, okay, then no, I will be alive and
Yeah.
very angry about
Very
this
angry.
AI concoction.
Yeah.
And then some idiot will be telling me how great it is.
No, the bubble will have burst by then, and we'll all be back to multicam videotape. Believe me.
That's true. We absolutely will. In our stone huts,
Why
and
can't
deep
we-
underground.
Why? Listen, I will accept AI if it means that you're recreating multicam videotape in a
No, I will not accept
studio.
it. No, I will not. I'll tell you why. Because
Okay.
Ian Levine is doing exactly that.
Oh, that's a good point.
So,
Okay, I withdraw my
no, I will
comment.
not
Yep.
accept
I
AI in any
withdraw
way,
it.
shape, or form here.
Okay, done. Chris, you were saying.
Yes, anyway. I loved the shot with all three TARDISes lined up one side by side in the museum. And obviously as well the roundels on the walls in the museum.
I like the after the whole universe explodes, so to speak, shot of the big war and the Daleks find a camera that it fades to black and fades up on just a sugar cube going into a
That's
teacup.
great. That's so good. That's some good cutting
Just
right
a
there.
quiet little transition. Yeah, I thought that was neat too. That whole thing, and then of course, for God's sake, Tom Baker.
Well, yes. The specific note I had there was the camera staying behind Tom Baker.
Yeah.
As Matt Smith walks around him. So all that we get as the audience is like a blurry Tom Baker, and it really helps to extend the reveal. And if you haven't figured it out already, then it's just that much more impactful once you see him.
I mean, when I heard his voice, I said out loud in the theater, "You magnificent bastards," because I'd forgotten he was going to be in it.
Yeah, like we hear him, we see the back of him, and then when we finally see his face, it's mid-sentence. That's what I love about it. It's not like there's not some big swell of music or anything like that. It's just this old man who is definitely Tom Baker, but who is he? He's the curator, apparently. Like there's so much mystery and mystique to that whole thing.
And in fact, sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, in Queen Elizabeth's note, she says how she's naming the Doctor curator of the Undergallery or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's all still down to that.
Yeah.
Two things here. All praise to Murray Gold, because when they first introduced Tom Baker, the curator, whatever, he's got just nice, quiet, subtle little violins, and it just or whatever that is, what the instruments are. It's subtly done, and that's exactly how it should be, and it's not a bunch of bombastic hoo-de-doo. Here's the fourth Doctor or whatever, right? But the flip side of all this is now the curator, and you've got all the old familiar faces. I'm like, this is probably going to get used to justify all manner of crimes.
Well, hey, we already had it. We already had
twice,
it with the 14th.
The 14th Doctor, and now the 16th, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
The last thing I had on my list was, I wish the lineup of the Doctors at the end didn't look so hokey, but I love the fact they used the waxwork Tom Baker like in 1983.
I'll tell you what I love, that the chairman of the board, number one, is standing right there behind him. I would also love to have a special edition where Joe Martin just comes in for that, goes, and me.
Me too. That's on my late ship. Yeah. If, they had like body doubles in and they sort of superimposed faces
and they're pretty
on
obviously
there.
body doubles, but who cares?
It is a little bit, but whatever. We'll take
Especially
it.
from the back, weirdly enough.
Yeah, I know. The back is where it really came in, I think. But, we'll take it. Whatever. It was, a great moment, a great ending to my last note is literally this perfect episode. That's what it was,
My last note is watching all the heads fly by in the credits, all caps, required.
Yeah.
Plus, by the end, when I got to the end credits, because the version I have is direct ripoff 10-year-old file or whatever it is of the BBC show. So it's like, and up next, the after party. And I'm like, oh dear.
No. Why would they do that? God.
No. I mean, it's right off the air, right? So that's why it's that one.
That's true. Things that precede unfortunate events. That's what that is right there. Yeah.
I don't know if it'll still be there by the time this goes out, but not too long ago, I had a listener send me a message saying, the after party's on YouTube now.
Oh boy.
Great. Wonderful. I won't be watching that.
No.
Well, Day of the Doctor. Was a wreck again after watching that.
Oh, absolutely. I got real emotional at the end. I was just like, both for what we saw and what we may have lost.
Both. Yep. Both. I think. I mean, how can you top it? How can you top some?
It's this and Hellbent are, I think, my co-stars of
Heaven Sent.
Heaven Sent. Yes. I'll never get those not mixed up. Those, like, I love tons of classic stuff. I love Deadly Assassin. I think Utopia is great. But these are the two all-timers. Like, those two are the all-time champions as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. You can't. You just have to go different at that point. You can't do any
completely
better.
Different episodes too. Yeah.
You can't make in my opinion, you can't make an action-packed, well-directed episode of Classic Who any better than you can make the Caves of Androzani. So don't try to remake the Caves of Androzani, Eric Sayward, despite you attempting it 2 or 3 times after that. Heaven Sent is totally unique. I enjoy multiple Doctors, I guess, appearing in a story, but let's face it,
this is the best one.
This is the best one. I think
Absolutely.
it's been perfected. We don't need to see it anymore. We've had it on 2 or 3 occasions now, I suppose, and it's like, okay, that's good, but Day of the Doctor, man. Day of the Doctor.
And there's only really 2 Doctors we know about, and one they introduced, which is insane.
Yep. Absolute nuts. Yep. And Nick Hurran never directs for Doctor Who again. I mean,
Oh,
what?
why
I mean, imagine like
Hit the
coming
tippy
back.
top there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like how? Okay, I'll leave on this. How about you come back and do the Dr. Light episode next year, Nick Hurran? Do you want to do that? No, I
mean,
think I'll
I'm
just
not-
direct the greatest story of all time, and then I'll leave on that. How does that
I'm
sound?
not comparing the two of them, but Quentin Tarantino's whole thing is I'm only making this X number of movies because he's like, I've seen guys who keep making movies in their 70s and 80s and it ain't great, and I don't want to be that guy. And I'm like, you know what, Quentin Tarantino, we don't agree on every movie you make, but fair enough, it's your legacy.
Yeah. You know, and I don't know if that's Nick Hurran's like choice or
No.
what, but like he's gonna direct other stuff.
But
since then,
same
of course.
basic result, right? So
Yeah.
To be fair, Hearn comes back and does 2 episodes of Sherlock for Moffat.
That's true. But he doesn't do
Later
Doctor
on,
Who. He doesn't do Doctor Who.
No more Doctor Who.
Nope.
But
So-
I'm just looking at his IMDb stuff. Travelers, Altered Carbon, Minority Reports.
All
there's a bunch
genre
of,
stuff.
A bunch of sci-fi genre TV stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he's real good at it. Why not?
Yeah.
And as we've talked about before, he did The Prisoner, the Ian McKellen, Jim Caviezel
That's
version
true.
back in the day as well.
That's
So,
true. Yep, there are some definite similar. I've only seen the first 2 episodes of that. There are some definite sort of just visual similarities to his directorial style. And that's fine. Directors having their own directorial style, that is what directors should do, honestly. If there are going to be artistes and auteurs, you know, I want them to be that and not just gathering footage for the editing suite. And I think Nick Hurran is 100% an auteur director.
Oh, yeah.
He knows what he wants. He knows the shots that he likes. He'll repeat the same kind of shots in multiple episodes, but they all look great in it and they all fit in those episodes. And he never makes himself the star of it, but he really, I think, lifts the material that's already great, I think, in an episode. So yeah, I'm going to ask the question then, and I might have a surprising response, but would we want to see Nick Hurran direct Doctor Who again?
Yes, I would. Even
Great.
though we just went off in the other direction, I think I would.
Chris?
Obviously, yes, but by the same token, how do you improve on perfection?
Yeah, fair
Yeah,
enough. Yeah.
That's why I'm saying no. Go away, Nick Hurran.
All right, fair enough.
You've done it. You know, it's like, you know, why should we get the
I
Beatles
just
back
have-
together in like 1978 to thinking, oh, well, maybe they'll do a cameo in that awful movie starring the Bee Gees or something like that.
Oh,
Thinking,
God.
why
That's
would
a
you do
cursed
that?
film.
Why don't you just let the Beatles walk off with Abbey Road and just have that be their legacy? So no, Nick Hurran, if you want to come back and do Doctor Who, don't. Stay away.
I just have an image
of
of him at the door to the office to the BBC and looking up. No, Stephen said, no, I got to go. He's just walking away.
Oh, I gotta leave. I was really hoping to maybe direct.
But this Canadian, this
Yeah.
guy with a podcast said, no, what am I supposed to do here?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what a great time. What a great time in Doctor Who's history, let me tell you. The Matt Smith era and, of course, the Day of the Doctor. How can you get any better? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out in our next Miniscope, everyone.
Any different? Let's put it that way, just to
It'll be different.
clear the deal here.
It'll be different. Chris, you got the old randomizer out there and all ready to go?
Yes, I do. We have three writers and 7 directors.
Oh, my
left to
God.
go.
Wow. Well, begin the spinning of that increasingly smaller randomizer now. Day of the Doctor.
Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good. I want to watch that Sherlock now again because, you know, I can't remember which one he did, The Last Vow or something like that. Or I think it's
One from season 3, one from season 4.
I don't remember the last 2 seasons from Sherlock as much as I should, but...
No, I mean, I Study in Pink is the one I've watched far and away the most,
Oh,
just because it was the first one.
It's so great, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's enough banter. Chris, stop.
Lee Haven Jones.
Lee
has he
Haven
done?
Jones.
So we're sticking with the new series.
We
as
are?
I type his name in to remind myself of
Fair enough.
the
All Jodie Whittaker.
the
Yep.
stuff he has directed. Yes. Orphan. Oh, we get to do Spyfall Part 2.
Okay, cool.
Close the book on that. Nice work. Okay.
Orphan 55.
Oh, everyone loves that one.
And Revolution of the Daleks.
I don't mind that one.
Here, wow, what an odd trilogy of Doctor Who stories to do with this one.
Very disparate content.
Wow.
But we're back to Jodie. I'm cool with that.
Me too. Yeah. Well, I mean, basically within like 4 directors will have covered like 60% of the Jodie Whittaker era. It's quite crazy, but
yeah. Well, we've got Mark Chandra and Azure Salim on the list, as well as Alexandre Pillai, but he's later on, isn't he? He's R2D2.
Yeah, he's in there too. Yeah, I think we've already done Jamie Childs. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So. Well, look at that.
Yes. Toby Haynes for older new stuff.
Toby Haynes, Structor Vandor. Toby Haynes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Still on there as well. Mm-hmm. Peter Hoare is on there.
Another one.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Lee Haven Jones, everyone. Like I said, you're not going to top Day of the Doctor, so we'll just have to go different from Day of the Doctor. So those 3 episodes will be on the next Miniscope in the weeks and months to come. So in the meantime and in between time, I'm Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
So long for now.